Welcome back. Today we are going to update our options window with new settings and fancy UI. Let's start by removing the unnecessary, so we won't use local, and I guess we also won't use MC, and D as well. Let's increase the height because we are going to add new settings, so let it be 290. Okay, and the width should be bigger as well, so let's make it 400. Okay, let's increase the font size to 22. Good. Let's make our window transparent, because as you could have noticed, when we start our game and open the options window, it has white corners here, here and here. Let me just show it to you. So let's open our options window. Unfortunately, all surroundings are also white. Let's change it by opening our settings and window. Let's set it to true. Start our game again. Okay, so here's our border. Here, you could clearly see that there are about 3 pixels. This is what we are going to change. Set it back to false. So in order to fix this, first of all, we need to allow transparency. Set it to true. And we also need to set the background to transparent instead of white. Well, yeah, we need to set it back to true and run the game again. And here you see we don't have those white pixels anymore because we are clearly using the transparency now. Again, set it to false. There is one thing that I still would like to change in this window, and that is we used a fancy checkbox style in our user control select pad. We used a style for radio buttons, but it looks quite nice, so I guess we could just copy it and change a bit to fit to a checkbox. So let's add the style here. In order to change it for checkbox, of course, we need to target the type checkbox. The control template should also be checkbox. We need to just rebuild it. And here we have a similar style as for our radio buttons. Let's check if it works. So, yes, it does. Good. We are done with the resources. As for border, I don't really like this turquoise or aqua color. Let's make it blue. So let's use color called Dodger Blue. Also, let's increase the corner radius to 10. The background should be sky blue. Increase the corner radius to 10. Let's make a better background. It won't be just white. We are going to make gradient background for this border. So border background. We will use linear gradient brush. Again, start point is 0.5, 0. The end point is 0.5, 1. And we will have 3 gradient stops. So the first one will be Alice Blue. Offset 0.0. The second will be Antique White, offset 0.5. Good. And the last one, again, Alice Blue with the offset 1.0. Good. Well, by the way, those are just the first 2 colors that I often use for testing. But they actually look quite nice. Well, at least for this window. We are done with the background. Instead of a stack panel, we could use a grid. Yeah, so grid. Let's put it inside. So this grid will have margin of 10. So we need a row for daily comments, for this text block, this text box, this button, and also 2 new settings. Well, and also 1 row to fill the rest. We are going to have another border for a title here. The title will just say options. So border, the row will be 0. Border brush will be hash ff00b5c5. Set the border thickness to 5. Good. Corner radius to 10. And background light green. Let's set margin on both sides. So 75 on the left, 0 to top, 75 on the right, and 5 to the bottom, just to separate it from the content. Inside we'll put a stack panel with margin of 10 on sides, and inside we'll have a text block. The text will be options, all capitalized. Let's set horizontal alignment to center. Now let's make it bold, so set font weight to bold. Let's try and set width to auto. Doesn't seem to change anything. Okay, let's increase the font size to 24. Good. The rest of the text will be 22. That's it for this border. Now, below we will have a checkbox. So this checkbox will be in grid in row 1. Set its name to be checkbox windowed. Let's set the content to windowed. And I guess that's it. Now, let's make another checkbox for the music setting. So checkbox music. And the content music. Actually, we won't use a stack panel here. Let's make it a grid, and this grid will be in row 3. Let's remove the margin. This grid will have 2 columns. The first one will be auto, and the second will occupy the rest of the space. Let's move it up. This text block will be in grid column 0. Next to it, we will put a text box in grid column 1. This will be the end of our grid. Now this checkbox will be in grid row 4, and finally our button will be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, grid row 5. Let's increase the width to 75. Let's see how it looks. Something is definitely wrong because our checkboxes are just cut off. That's wrong. So this problem is only with the checkboxes. Let's set the height to auto. Yeah, that should do it. Good. It looks quite nice. I like it. Now we need to code it. This won't be a hard task because we have only 2 new settings. So window options. Now in code we are going to modify the loaded event as well as the closed event. So let's copy it. So checkbox windowed is checked equals both settings default windowed, and also checkbox music is checked equals both settings default and music. TB name text equals, that's right. Yeah, we don't need to change anything here. Now settings default windowed, settings default music, checkbox windowed, and checkbox music is checked. Good. And save after we exit. Let's check it. So turn off the music, turn on the music. Yeah, it works. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more tutorials.